everybody, and welcome back to Rapture. Hope you're having a lovely day today. We're back with all of our players, and we're recording this the same day as the episode we recorded before, so they are still dressed as one another. I wanted to feel included, so I put on my villain coat. I changed out of my normal baseball cap and flannel. So we're gonna pick up right where we left off, but we're gonna pick up in the tower, where Chrona has met their creation, which has come to life. And
Correction, my son.
You're okay. Where you had said they are somewhat. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not saying it right, but you said somewhat related to death.
That's the hope.
And the man goes, What do you mean somewhat related to death?"
I'm curious, how much knowledge are you born with? So I know where to start.
I woke up in this fucking shithole. I don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's happening. Is that clear enough? I've been trying to find something, but the only fucking things you have here is about chemistry and fucking philosophy.
Okay, well, those are important in creating things, okay?
You see, he grabs a book and it just ashes in his hands. What am I?
Chrona can't fight it anymore. Chrona starts taking notes, but they are going to answer. Well, this is really fascinating. The powers are taking place in a very interesting way. Do you know what a dragon is?
No.
Okay, so they're like these often reptile creatures. There used to be this dragon of death, right? And then the world kind of went to garbage, and there was this whole incident. I mean, it was quite beautiful because like humanity kind of got stronger. You saw the progress that happened out of like difficulty and strife. But then, well, I found some remnants of what could have remade the Dragon of Death, and I thought, hey, why don't we bring it back? Because if we bring in more strife, humanity grows stronger, right? And then basically, there were some drugs involved, there was some egg, there was a god's body, and I guess here you are.
You're saying I'm the Dragon of Death?
More like a reconstruction.
So what the fuck is my purpose?
I think you can make your own. Everyone has their own purpose. Primarily destruction, which you've done a really good job of.
So how do I get out of here? So I can fulfill this purpose.
Let me try and figure it out. Give me like a moment to think.
He ashes the bookshelf as he puts his hand to the wall.
I understand you're upset, but if you rush me, I might not be able to take you out of here, so let me figure it out.
Can I at least have some clothes?
Oh, yeah. And Chrona's gonna pull out like this little like chest, and it's gonna be all of the same outfit. It's just Chrona's outfit. And it's gonna give him some clothes and hope that they fit.
He puts them on. He's a little bit like more muscular than Chrona, so he kind of like the clothes are a little tight to him. And he leaves. He doesn't like button up the shirt. He leaves it open, and he just sits in one of the non-broken chairs, staring at you, waiting.
That's my son.
And we're gonna cut back to the material plane. So back in Saraphina's office, she kind of like I said, she had that look of disgust on her face, and she goes, "Well, Chrona was interested in. Well, he was." They initially approached me to talk about the possibilities of revival magic, and we all know that ever since we've all lost our true divinity, that revival magic was not possible, or it was well, it was too high of a cost than it used to be. But, I was interested in perhaps regaining this ability and, trying to fix some of the things that we lost. So I began to help them and began to kind of guide them through the process, how they would resurrect a being. And eventually my curiosity got the better of me, and I initially wasn't asking any questions, but I asked, what were we reviving? Or attempting to revive, because it didn't... The material components seemed a lot heftier than reviving just a mere mortal. I thought it might have been an ex-girlfriend or something. But turned out Chrona had, well, some more diabolical, I would say, plans.
What plans? Diabolical how?
They wished to resurrect one of the dragons of the apocalypse.
What?
Yes, specifically the god of death.
Why?
Eva, with that, stiffens. She's quite pale, like as if she would be dead, but now she's even paler, and she just looks. Sorry, I feel like I misunderstood what you said. Do you mind repeating the words?
Yes, of course.
Resurrecting what exactly?
Well, I wasn't quite sure how, as the god of death was destroyed during the battle with the drowned king. I wasn't sure how, but they seemed to have a surefire way, but it didn't seem right the way they were going about it. Something just rubbed me the wrong way with it. It seemed like we were tampering with things we shouldn't have.
What was he resurrecting exactly?
They seem to have got their hands on remnants, perhaps, somehow, of the god of death.
And is this... Did it work?
I don't know. I washed my hands of the project. I didn't want to be involved. This was...
When did this begin? Before the fall?
Oh no, it was after the fall. It was after the fall, because that's when the god of death perished during the final battle, during the drowning. And I would say, Chrona, how long ago did you begin working on this project?
How long ago did we say my hand came off?
It was a few hundred years.
350 years.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was like 300 years.
About 300 years.
About 300 years ago, they began working on this process.
Sorry, can I... Alec?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is brand new.
Holy shit! Okay.
I'll respond to you really quick. Yeah. Brand new.
Okay. So Eva is not listening anymore.
Okay.
Everything that it will happen now until it's just static.
Well, it's like Saraphina takes in like just kind of this 1,000-yard stare from Eva. Is like, well, do you require anything else?
Okay. Wait, this is a question. So,
Sure.
in the past, in 1,000 years, Amaris has been stealing little bits of power.
Mhm.
Can she attempt to do that right now? Being like, thank you so much. Kind of like feeding off her.
How would Amaris feed?
I think it would be her tugging on these strands. And I think now that she's severed them, maybe snipping just little pieces. Not enough to like break them, but enough to be like, oh, a little bit here, a little bit there.
Go ahead and unleash the dark.
Okay, so I roll 2d6.
2d6? Yep,
And
roll
I
2d6.
want between
And 8 to
and
10.
10.
Yep.
Because then above is too powerful. Okay. What's 6 plus 2 is
An 8.
8.
So with Unleash the Dark, I would say, without going into harming this person,
Yeah.
you
She just wants to
you just a little, you take a little
just a
bit,
just a little bit.
a little bit off the top.
She's very weak, and she wants to do what she can to make sure she's in tip-top shape to
You feel a lot stronger.
do things. Yeah. Perfect.
Well, if she looks to Lily, looks to Fringe and Eva and Amaris and goes, I have many appointments. Is there anything else I can do for you?
When we call upon you if things go bad again.
Well, sure, you'll have to talk to my receptionist, but of course.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Eva's not registering anything that's happening.
And I think because this is such a stark difference, it would be apparent to the rest of you, to the three of you,
Okay.
that Eva has kind of gone catatonic.
Yep. We're going to be going now, and Amaris is gently going to kind of shepherd Eva. She'll let her.
The
Out of the
minute you
room.
touch Eva, she
Oh.
startles. And she's just gonna... Can I roll to just keep myself in check?
Yeah, roll 2d6.
Oh.
Let's
5
say
plus a 6.
5 plus 6, 11.
Oh.
I don't know if in
That's-
check is the word I would use.
Nope.
Whatever your interpretation of going off the handle would be. So you don't break down, but you go off the handle.
I think things just start like items, like important items or things in the room of in vicinity just start going missing. They just like kind of glitch and just vanish. And it just starts happening, and things are it's just like almost like really bad electricity, and then it just like scalpels, mugs, everything just starts vanishing. Pieces of like the receptionist piece of like a brooch or a scarf just like floats away and just vanishes. Like things are just disappearing.
I think it's time for you to go. I think it's time for you to leave. I think you need to deal with your friend here.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Amaris is going to look at the other two. What are you guys doing?
I think we're both just kind of tucked in the back.
Okay, let's get going. Okay? Let's get going. I have somewhere we can go,
Yes.
I think.
Get me to the tower.
Oh.
Oh.
To the what?
Get me to Chrona's lab.
Well, is that where Chrona... Of course, that's where Chrona went. That's where they always go. Did you not hear what I just said? I have somewhere
me.
semi-safe.
To the lab. Now. I'm not asking nicely. But I'm begging
Fringe?
you.
Can you bring us there? Is that something you can do?
Fringe will not say anything, but will turn to the nearest wall, and with their kind of slightly sharpened hand are going to just claw it open.
That's my wall.
It'll go back. Don't worry.
Hey, just get out. Just get out.
I would like to pull Lily
Oh.
as... Okay. Amaris is going to do a little sidebar, if that's okay.
Okay. I'm sure Eva has already walked through.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know more about the Chrona situation? About what they've been up to?
Not entirely. I know it is inherently malevolent. The place is saturated in it, steeped in it.
Well,
So
we're
much
about
so
to
that
step
if you
in
walk
there.
in... What?
We're about to walk in there.
Yes.
Will you be all right? That seems very condescending, but she's not meaning it to be.
Yeah.
Because I know you and Chrona are not on the best of terms. And if you do make a move against them, I will.
I'm not going to hurt Chrona. understand
Of
something.
course not.
And her face is going to drop. Oh, I just got chills. I'm scared.
So
Mom, come pick me up.
y'all go through the portal?
Mhm.
Okay. And then Fringe, do you follow behind?
Fringe is going to follow, but stay in the space between planes and not go to the tower.
You're just gonna send them and you're gonna stay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fringe doesn't want to go back.
Okay.
Lily's not gonna go then.
Oh. Amaris is going.
Yep,
Yeah, Amaris can
Amaris
go.
and
If
Ephar go.
Fringe isn't going, Lily's not gonna leave Fringe alone. Not when everything's
Lily
happening.
and Fringe are gonna stay in the in-between.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amaris will go push past to go after Eva.
Okay. All right. So you two arrive in the tower. And I guess Chrona, you would hear kind of the sound, the tearing sound that you've now now have kind of equated with Fringe's portals, as you hear hurried footsteps kind of enter, and you see the man just kind of like snaps to attention, almost like an animal, like hearing a sound as he goes, "Who the fuck is that?"
I don't know.
And I guess the two of you would round the corner
Yeah.
hearing the voices.
Mm-hmm.
You would see this man. He's got like long black hair down to his shoulders, like like I described. He's very tall, muscular, red eyes with a slit down the middle, sitting in the chair, and he's just kind of like just staring at you now.
Eva looks at the creature man thing and then looks at Chrona. And Chrona, you just see like rage and grief and just something broke. And she looks at you and she just says, "What have you done? What have you done? Do you think that you're so special that you could play with death?" And she just starts going closer. "What do you think that you are doing?"
I wanted to see if life could be given to death, considering the concept of what death is. And look,
He was my friend. He's not just some concept. And I just found out that he is dead, and I thought he was just missing. And you're just there playing with the fragments of what he was. Why do you think that you are so clever that you have the right to do so?
you see Chrona's like stiffening. Because I am above people who give into their feelings. Because progress becomes everything at the end of life. That's what
Bravo.
matters.
Oh, bravo! I am so proud of you. You've done so well, haven't you? Do you feel pride in what you have done? Do you feel pride in the progress that you are going to send this world into destruction? What were you planning to do? Kill everyone in its wake so you can be right? So you can feel some pride?
You knew me?
She turns around. Like, do we recognize each other in like a...
He looks
sense?
very reminiscent to the man you knew. To the essence of the figure that the god of death. He looks similar. He's a bit different, but he looks close enough to like your former friend. But he has this look of just kind of like bewilderment and confusion on his face. He goes, "You know who I am? Who am I?"
She just looks at Chrona and looks back. Chrona, what have you done? And she goes
brought
like
you back.
slowly goes towards, and she just like puts her hand like, she doesn't touch them, but just like hesitantly like, "You're not dead, are you? Are you just a fragment of what he was?"
This Chrona person said that I am destruction. I am death. I just woke up here. I don't know who the fuck or what I am, but you said you know me. You said we were friends. What am I?
Sweet. Okay. You look like a friend of mine, who apparently I just found out died. The reason why I exist. I'm kind of a piece of him as well. I don't know quite what you are, my love, but you look like my friend who I lost. You do not need to be destruction. Death is not a bad thing always. And she looks at Chrona like, you explain yourself.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I found a fragment. I realized he passed, and I wondered if I could bring him back. It wasn't with the intention to destroy the world, but death is a pretty important god to just be missing.
I know that. Don't patronize me. I know you're clever, but do not be patronizing. So, what is he? What am I looking at?
I'm not quite sure. I
Well, you said
experimented. There was an egg.
An egg? What, did he just pop out of the egg? Like tulips in the snow?
I don't know. I felt someone tearing this tower apart from the inside, and I came back and he was here.
Is there any fragments left of this egg?
Chrona, you did see them on the ground out in the...
You would have walked past them.
She just looks on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, basically the main chamber that you walk through to get to the side room, there like you see like there's like where the kind of epicenter of the mess is. You do see these like almost, they look like obsidian like stone, like kind of egg fragments on the ground, kind of mixed in with this, like you see almost like ash and dust on the ground, and this also bit of shimmering white powder.
Interesting. Sorry, because I was going to say something. She looks back at the person that she sees before her, and she's like, "So it looks like that you might be a newborn version of death, which is quite a lot. Do you know what the concept of death and destruction is, or have you just been given those words?"
I have a feeling, but I don't know. Is it this? And you see he touches like another like pot of flowers, and just like the flowers just ash.
Ooh. But the clothes on you have not disintegrated.
No.
Amaris, are there any gloves near you somewhere?
Are there? God.
I would ask Chrona. Chrona, would there be gloves in this place?
No.
No.
Emma just doesn't even want to talk to Chrona right now. She's just like, Amaris.
Also, hello. I'm Amaris.
Hello.
Eva kind of takes a handkerchief and just like places it on his hand to see if it disintegrates. Does it?
No.
Okay, she's gonna put it around his hand, and she's gonna take his hand, just like slowly, like, we're going to get you out of here, but it's not going to be easy understanding everything around you. But do not give in to the fear that you're feeling right now, or things can go very badly. Understand?
You see like the red eyes with the slit in the middle kind of like flicker to like almost like a green, and then they like kind of stay this green color.
We're the same, you and I.
The same.
The same.
And then they
You-
turn their eyes just kind of to look around the room. They're still listening to you, but they just seem to kind of be taking in the room.
Might be a bit more powerful in a different branch of what I am, but we're still the same. Let's get you somewhere safe and away from this. And she looks at Chrona. And we'll go somewhere neutral where we can discuss this properly.
Yeah, Chrona, what have you been doing while Eva has been consoling your creation?
Taking notes.
That tracks. All right, we'll cut to the. We'll cut.
What
to
a
the
fucking
in-between.
king! I respect someone who can keeping it consistent.
I'm sorry, the eyes flashed green.
Green?
This is to note.
So we're gonna flash into the in-between. What are the two of you doing? And Lily, have you ever been in the in-between before?
No.
So to describe what it looks like, it's very much like when you're walking, for Fringe, their feet don't really touch the ground, so they don't really experience this. But when you take a step, it almost looks like you're walking on the surface of water, as this kind of like, basically like pulse kind of goes from each one of your footsteps. It's this endless expanse of darkness and absence. There's nothing here unless it is created here. But yes, so the two of you are in this space together. What are you doing?
Fringe is holding Lily very, very tightly. It's like one slip up and Lily could be lost to the in-between, like he's seen so many times before. They are not going to risk that. When they move people between spaces, it's like they'll see a fraction of a second of the in-between, but Fringe will always see it. And Fringe has spent so much time there that it's haunting, but it's better than the tower.
Despite how vast and fathomless and terrifying this is, it is the first time she relaxes since they got into the city.
I don't think Fringe would make conversation. I think they're just waiting. They're waiting for a signal or something to pull people back.
Or did they signal you? Or did you just close the doors on either side and just hang out in here?
They didn't close the door. The gap is still open in the tower.
Okay, got it. Okay, just making sure. I was just clarifying. Like, did you just like stop halfway and then close the doors? Okay. So you're
They're just in the space that they would have traveled.
Okay.
And hanging out there. They could just step into the tower if they wanted to, but they're hesitant.
Can you roll me another 2d6? I'm gonna take off this jacket. As cool as it is, it's hot as fuck.
11.
What did you roll?
11.
11. So you would feel a hand in your other hand, Fringe.
Kind of look at their other hand.
You look at the other hand, and there she is again. The girl with the lavender hair and that sweet smile that you swear you've seen somewhere before. You see, she just like, you can hear it. Lily doesn't hear it, but you hear it. Come on, Fringe. And she's gone. As it like looked like she was basically going to like run with your hand. And then she's gone.
Kind of grasp the space where she was. Then just look at their hand. As if they're not quite sure if it's real or this is something the in-between's doing to them again, and it's they're quite tense against Lily as they're trying to process what that is, trying to put together the pieces because there's so many gaps. that they're not quite able to figure out who she is.
And then you feel almost like somebody like kind of tapping you on the back as you see a man walking past with like dark hair and kind of like almost like a little like almost like sun-kissed skin, kind of grisly looking, and he goes, "Yeah, come on, Fringe, we gotta get this kid home." As you see that man, as he walks past you, he fades as well.
Lily probably hears Fringe like exhale. I'm coming, I think. Just kind of frown, and stare off into the nothingness, trying to piece these little fractures together.
What's wrong?
I am seeing things. It's probably nothing.
Or it's probably something. Would you like to tell me what you saw? You don't have to, but sometimes saying it out loud makes it a little bit more real.
Is she human?
The girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got she looked about like teenage age, like slightly pointed ears, lavender hair down into ponytails. The bottom of the ponytail is a little bit darker. And then the man looked like he was probably in his late 30s. And he looked human. He looked human, yeah.
Two mortals. They say my name like we are friends. I know them, but I do not know them.
How do they feel when you see them? What do they make you feel?
Lonely. Like they were people I cared about. Even for a short time. Sad, I do not remember them.
But you still have bits of them that are coming back. And maybe you'll get more, and maybe you won't, but you haven't lost them entirely, not if you have those feelings, not if you saw what you saw.
But if they are here, they are dead.
We live long lives.
I have been here long enough to know death is not something to be scared of.
No.
I have seen the other side, and there is nothing there.
Well, you have something now. You have me, and I'm not going to leave. I wouldn't leave you alone here, and I'm not going to leave you alone in the future. And I'm not going to forget about you or anything that you've done. So I don't want you to be afraid of being alone, and I don't want you to be afraid of being forgotten. Because you won't be. And I don't want you to be afraid of forgetting, because if you do, I'll remember it for you.
They squeeze you just a little bit tighter, kind of their arm wrapped around you. I do not mind being forgotten. But I do not want to be alone.
I don't think I'll forget you. I don't think you could make me.
And Fringe just kind of trails off into their thoughts, wrapping the other hand around Lily, just kind of pulling them in, almost like a hug, protective over the shoulders.
She's gonna open the emotional line, and you're just gonna get a rush of warmth.
Such a cold place that it's very welcomed.
Or we go back to the tower. Yes, Amaris.
Can Amaris pull Chrona aside, still in the same room?
Chrona's
I think
just, I think, writing notes.
Marches over there.
Oh. Hi.
Can I speak to you?
Chrona's gonna look as if they're about to say something, think better of it, and close the book.
And Amaris will be like, a couple steps over here. Let's give them a little bit of privacy to talk. So we can also have privacy. In the same room. I want to put that. We're not going. We're all still in eyesight of each other. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay. So this is one of the reasons why you love coming here so much.
Partially, yeah.
How long have you been?
I mean, not the whole reason.
Yes, but how long have you?
Few 100 years, maybe. Couple notebooks worth.
Well, you've done something quite remarkable.
I mean, I've helped something remarkable come into the world. I wouldn't say I've done it.
Now we have to... You've brought something remarkable back, yes, but now this remarkable being has the power to do a lot. Do you have things in preparation for how to deal with them? If their power gets too strong, if they try to kill you?
No.
Kill us?
I mean, the intention wasn't for anyone else to be involved right away. I figured if I couldn't handle it, I haven't progressed enough.
And if you can handle it and you haven't progressed enough, then what would happen? You would die? Cease to exist?
I
And you're
mean,
okay with that?
that's his primary existence, reason for being. He is a god of death.
And you are willing to die for that?
Chrona is gonna have their eyes flicker for a second, looking at Amaris. It's not like I really have anything else at this point to die for.
There it is. There it is. Feeling. You speaking on a feeling. That's new. I have been waiting
I think it's
for that.
funny. Yeah? What about all the years you made me express myself? Huh? The years that you made me be vulnerable. Yeah, I haven't been good at communicating. But never once have I sought someone else for that comfort.
There it is. You're right. You're right. But you do have a lot to live for, even still. So now, you have helped bring something into this world that could result in disaster. So now, what are you going to do about it?
Why should I do anything?
Because if that thing gets out, then it is going to kill everyone.
And at what point did I agree I was coming? You all
Coming
said
to
yes. You all agreed in Eva's cottage. I never said yes. I said as long as our goals aligned, I would be happy to come.
And what is your goal, then? What is it?
To observe how this all ends. Whether it's by my hand, your hand, or someone else's. I used to think, before the drowning, we had some effect on fate because we were gods. I thought I could change. But you've taught me otherwise.
Don't say that.
What was the point of me having feelings to feel this shit? I was fine before you came along. I never felt lonely until now.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I trusted you.
And I
And no matter how angry I am, I can't stop caring about you.
So then what is it?
I'm stuck loving you because I opened myself to you. And what? You think you can judge me for giving in to what I was made for when you go around sleeping with other people, seeking their comfort for your power? You cared about me when it was easy, Amaris. Things got hard and you forgot.
You forgot me first. I thought that you didn't love me. You stopped coming home. You stopped showing up, and I knew that there were periods when you would lose track of things in your progress, but you stopped coming. And so, yeah, I did what I do best, and I ruined whatever is good before me. Because it's all I know. Because I thought you didn't want me anymore, that I had done something to deserve the silence, and instead of communicating, I was a coward. And instead of trying to fix it, I did choose the easy way out. And I ruined it. I ruined us, and I hurt you, and I hurt myself time and time again because I am a fraud, a failure. I don't deserve your love. I never have. You have a right to be angry with me. You shouldn't want anything to do with me because all I do is I just ruin anything good. Chris, I am supposed to be a goddess of love. And How am I supposed to inspire anything and anyone when I feel nothing, when I can't even look at myself in the mirror? Because you're right. I have done nothing but ruin, and I am selfish, and it wasn't fair. And I know I can never fix it, the damage I have done to you, how I have hurt you. But I believe that maybe, despite it all, and despite the pain, against all odds, maybe there can be a better tomorrow. Just maybe.
You know, I remember there was a time where I didn't feel guilt about those long periods of leaving. And I remember you told me that, yeah, people make shitty decisions, and even if that's not your intention, you take responsibility for those actions. So yeah, maybe, yeah, you keep hurting yourself, but you can't excuse it to some part of your nature. You are consciously making those choices. And I didn't forget. And Chrona is going to throw their journal down. And you're going to see, like, there's pages where, like, rose petals are pressed into, like, dog-eared corners of the journal.
Oh my god.
And Chrona is just going to walk out of the room and just be by themselves for a minute.
I think we're gonna cut kind of back in time to Eva and the creation.
Yes, I would like to think, well, because this is quite, what just happened has been quite, like, heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've had quite, like, an intense conversation that I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would be rude to be in the same room when this is happening.
Well, they stepped out to a different room. They had gone to a different room.
Oh, I thought they only stepped a tiny bit away, but
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
They-
had
they-
us not in
Yes.
I had us still in the same room so that nobody could try to run away.
And then
Exactly,
Chrona
so-
left.
And then
then
they were
Chrona
yelling
was-
at each other, and you
Yes.
probably heard that, and then Chrona left to take a moment.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I don't want to metagame this. However, I find the conversation they had is so beautiful, and I feel like it's quite private.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when Eva sees that Amaris is going to have a conversation with Chrona, she kind of takes. Is there a different room as well that she can, like, okay, so she's going to just guide this new god of death to that room. Just also, so they just have that privacy for that scene, because it's just a good scene. I feel like the two of them being there would kind of ruin that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's going to take this new god of death, and she's going to sit him down. And she's just going to look at him. She's still holding that napkin, like this handkerchief between them. Just because she's a bit like, I feel like I might die if I actually touch this person's skin. And she's going to sit them down. She's going to be like, do you have a name that you remember?
I'm going to roll for it, see if he remembers his name.
Woo!
And you see him just kind of like, he looks like his eyes have now turned to this green color. And he looks to just kind of be searching, and he just says, Mortarian?
Mortarian. Mortarian.
Yes.
Have I had this name before?
No, this isn't the name he used before.
Yeah. Right.
It's similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're a new kind of, or a reborn, reincarnated version of my friend. So Mortarian.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you feel is lingering in your brain that you feel is a bit muffled in there? And can I use my powers to kind of clear
Some
anything?
Of the muck out of his brain?
Yes, because he is technically lost.
Yeah. He's incredibly lost.
Exactly. So, what do I roll? Is it 3d6 or 2d6?
2d6.
2d6.
Roll me 2d6 to unleash the dark.
That is an 11.
11.
I'm rolling
So-
a bit too high lately.
little high. So
A
let me
bit
just-
a little high. Don't mean whoopsies.
so you get to choose. You get to choose one from this list.
Mm-hmm.
Get past their defenses, inflict a condition that seems a little too hostile. Get what you want from them. Avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Gain the upper hand. Confuse them. This is kind of like an aggressive, move here. But there will be unintended consequences because you rolled so high.
Yeah. Sorry. That was one more time.
You can get past their defenses.
Uh-huh.
You can get what you want for them, which kind of feels very close to what you're looking for.
That's the one I wanted. Sorry, yeah, that one.
So
But she does tell him, like, I'm going to give you a little hand, but I do not know how it will feel. But do not think of me as anything but a friend trying to help.
And you kind of like, how does this look when you do this? How does this look?
It feels like, I like to think of almost like, because it's like where his brain is, I feel like what he sees is almost like the world kind of becomes watery and kind of like little drops in the water, like sound waves. And maybe I was gonna say Moriarty, that's not his name.
Mortarian.
Mortari. Kind of starts maybe seeing things almost like they're hallucinations in front of him. Like the water is kind of creating this, because water has memory, like is creating this thing, like picture for him, whatever I'm trying to get out.
So you'll see him kind of like shake his head a bunch, and you see the eyes kind of flicker between this green and this red. Like the green look like normal eyes, with like a normal circle shaped pupil, and then they kind of flicker back to the red with the slit and the green, and it kind of shakes his head. The hell am I doing here? Eva.
Who am I speaking to right now? How did you know my name? I didn't give you my name.
It was there.
There in your memory?
Bits of it. I don't have all of it. I have someone else's also.
That's great. That's great. That's amazing. What else do you remember?
I remember I helped those fucking kids fight the drowned king.
Uh-huh.
And then the famine stabbed me. And then nothingness.
Apparently you died. You disappeared that day. I've been searching for you this entire time. I thought you were missing. I thought you were just lost.
No, I thought I died too.
I guess you kind of did. You apparently broke out of an egg, a fragment of some sort.
Huh. But who are these other people in my head?
I don't know.
And you see, he just like looks like really confused. And there is a look of recognition on his face, but it's like, he's got your name, but like things aren't jumbled like they were before, where it was just a fog.
Do you mind,
yeah.
Do you mind touching that book? Just touch it with your hand that I'm not holding.
Sure. And he touches the book.
Does it disintegrate?
No.
She goes and hugs him. She just like embraces him. And just like, I'm so happy to see you.
He kind of like, there's like that moment of stun, and then he wraps his arms back around you and he goes, I'm sorry I left you alone.
That's okay. I knew you would come back.
Yeah. And he just kind of like holds you for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
And she hears a shouting from the other
Yeah. Then you hear a shouting match, and I think Chrona would storm past at this point.
Yeah. There's so much I need to explain to you, but the world is technically ending again. And there are things that we do not know that are happening right now, and we are in need of some answers, and a lot of things are happening, and It's quite hard to explain.
There's a lot of death occurring.
Yes,
now.
it is.
No, right now.
What do you mean?
A lot of mortals are dying at this present moment.
What do you mean? Where? What?
And he just kind of like guides his hand, almost like very similar to the Chrona, the way that Chrona kind of tears portals, but it's more so kind of like almost like a window. As you see, Hearth is in flames. As you see, Veritas has returned. And possibly because of what was taken from her, it's a slaughter. There are bodies everywhere. People being torn asunder.
Saints.
There is so much death.
This herald that is doing it, Veritas, I think their name is, stabbed the goddess of love that is in the other room that you probably saw, the pretty lady with the red hair.
Right.
We faced him earlier. I do not know what they did as I was tending to her wounds, but they were in this tower, and then Veritas vanished. And I guess we went to Horth earlier to try to heal her, but I guess they found our scent and, well, I guess you know the rest.
We should do something.
Yes, exactly. We should, or else all of this would have been in vain.
How do we leave here?
This way, come, please. As she goes and opens the door and just sees.
See, I
Amaris
think. Do you go back to Amaris, or do you go through the portal to go back?
To Amaris. She sees Amaris
Okay.
first, and she's like, "Where's Chrona?"
Points.
Chrona, we don't have time for hide and seek. We need to go now. Please. People are actually dying in Horth, and it's all our fault, so we should probably get going.
Chrona is gonna come back to the door. Their eyes are super red.
Phoebe.
Right, I've been smoking, I've been very emotional, but we don't have time. So let's...
What is it? What is it?
The herald is killing everyone in Horth. Hearth. In Hearth.
Oh no. I severed one of her threads.
Why? Because she wanted her to bow to you. It's okay.
Well,
There was...
No. But when I did, I saw a different thread. It was important. It was blue. It was towards the sky. If we can find her, maybe I can sever this other thread if I get close enough, and then maybe she'll be killable, weaker. Maybe she'll bamp back to where she came from.
Well,
but I think I can fix this.
But I also think we need someone who's quite powerful if unleashed as well. We need Lily.
Well,
You're not
they're
going to be
waiting,
able to do this alone, so...
So let's go.
Mm-hmm. This way. And she...
All right. And you see their eyes linger on Chrona for like a long time. And then turn to follow. Chrona, are you going with?
I do. I do take a minute to pick up the journal and kind of like dust it off and make sure it's okay before I follow after.
Okay. Yes, Toby.
Out of curiosity, because we're in the in-between, are we just seeing people popping up?
Yeah.
Very quickly, people
Yeah.
just suddenly appearing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're starting to see like soul after soul after soul arrive here. As like hundreds of people are being killed at the moment.
We need to go.
I need to go.
And you would feel Fringe. You would feel your friends beginning to pass through the doorway once again. With one additional figure.
We found death.
Hello?
Ta-da!
Fringe is just staring like...
What
I think you guys are still hugging, right?
Yes. People are dying. Cuddle session it's very sweet, but Lily, I need you to get me close enough to sever a important thread of the herald from earlier. We need to kill her. Can you do that? Yeah. Can you help me?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. So you're all heading back through the portal into Hearth.
Yep.
So you come out basically, unless Fringe, you changed where you come out. You would come right back out in the doctor's office.
Doctor's office, yeah. That's the fastest way to get through.
You come out and you see the wall is caved in for this place. You see there's no one basically alive around you. As you see, got it. You see like just destruction everywhere. You see buildings toppled over. You see bodies almost as tall as the piles of rubble. The streets are running red, and you just hear the sounds of conflict. What do you do?
Do we see the herald anywhere?
So you begin to make your way through, right?
Mm-hmm.
You begin to make your way through, and you eventually make your way kind of to the city epicenter, where you see the herald. It looks she's currently like locked. You see there is this like this pair where you see one of them is kind of in darker like red robes, and he's got kind of two twisting horns up, and you see he looks to be kind of firing magic at the herald, and then you see a man in plate armor with kind of like now like one of the wings looks like it's been torn off, but you see another man. He used to have two like almost like bird like angelic like wings. One of them has been torn off. You see it laying on the ground as he's like basically locked as the herald is kind of like pushing the sword down as you see it begins to cut into his shoulder. But you see the two of them are currently engaged with fighting against the herald. Yes.
Can Amaris, like, almost like, was it in D&D, like, clerics have, like, a spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
I would like her to, Amaris, to manifest this sheer, why did I forget what his scissors is called? Oh my god, the stress. I would like her to kind of, like, summon it, almost to have, like, a prepared, if they get close. I just want her to have that ready to use that move.
Okay.
If we can get close to try to get at that one thread, if possible.
Okay.
So in preparation.
Eva looks at
Yeah, go ahead.
Eva looks at Lily and she's like, I can try to find that thing that we used last time. Remember that powder?
I have some.
You still have it?
Mhm.
Do you need anything else?
No.
Go at him. And Eva's just gonna take a step back.
You're gonna take a step back? You
She's
see
useless in combat.
Mortarian takes a step forward.
Mm.
You see as Mortarian kind of steps up to walk
Oh.
with Lily.
Hello, we've worked together in the past, haven't we? And her voice just drops an octave.
I think I'm still remembering things.
That's all right. It's good to see you.
I'm Amaris, by the way, from behind you. Really awkward, definitely, but she's saying something anyway. If you can get in and injure her as much as possible and give me an opening to do a little thread snipping, that would be very helpful.
Sure.
Do some damage.
And then Chrona and Fringe, what are the two of you doing?
I think Fringe is hanging back. Fringe doesn't really know what they can do to be of use in this situation.
Okay.
So they're just kind of there.
I think Lily's gonna look back at Fringe. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, you can do your thing first.
No, what are you doing, Chrona? And then I'll get to Lily.
Chrona's gonna ask Fringe to do something, so you could do your thing first.
Okay.
Lily was gonna ask Fringe to do something, so you can do your thing.
Fringe is just wanted by everyone.
Look at Fringe. Fringe, I have a favor to ask.
And they look at you.
If it looks like the fight isn't going well, can you send me over there fast?
I can do that.
Okay. And Chrona is just going to hold a vial of spark for themselves, ready to go.
Okay.
God, we're all on drugs.
So Lily,
God's on drugs. God's on drugs.
You see, like basically the herald is basically like shoving the sword down into. It's now basically cutting into this paladin's shoulder as he's trying to hold it up, and you see the other figure comes up behind him and is trying to basically like hold the sword up also. So the two of them are trying to resist this herald as she just looks wild. Before, when you saw Veritas for the first time, she looked very like cool, calm, and collected. She
But
looks
now-
wild, and she's got this wicked smile on her face.
Lily's gonna bound up to Fringe, hands on either one of their shoulders, tiptoes, kiss them on the forehead,
Back me up, okay?
and then they're gonna turn and go.
Fringe, your reaction?
I think Fringe is just kind of a little dumbfounded, like, okay.
Little blush.
Now, most of their face is covered,
Yeah.
but they do smile a little bit.
And Lily, by the time you turn back around, you see Mortarian has closed the distance. And you see him grab the back of Veritas's ponytail and yank her backwards, basically, like to send her tumbling.
Perfect.
Yeah.
2 shots of vodka. Glug 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 glug.
You're taking the spark?
Only a little bit of it. She really doesn't want to take all of it.
Can you roll me 2d6?
Yep. Come on, this is fine. It actually is fine. I rolled an 8.
An 8. So even with this overwhelming, like the rage and the terror and the sorrow that is surrounding you right now from this attack, and the increase in strength that you feel from taking the spark, please mark 1 ruin. You are maintaining yourself in the moment.
Yep. She's going to shoot a look at Amaris, nod, and then just stalk forward, extend a hand, and use her new ability to call upon otherworldly weapons and just manifest an equally as large greatsword.
Fuck yeah.
That looks sanguine, dripping with blood wrapped in thorns. Sling it over her shoulder and walk forward.
Okay. So you see Veritas very quickly gets to her feet. Mortarian, you see, has turned to basically help the two gentlemen to their feet. And like looks like they're having a conversation. But Veritas basically gets to her feet and she goes, well, look who's back. You ready for round 2?
We're not going to hug it out.
No. I'm just gonna add you to a pile.
Oh. How sweet. Okay, come on. Go ahead.
So the two of you begin to basically go back and forth, clashing back and forth. I need you to roll me Unleash the... Well, let's see.
Ooh, I unfortunately have my starting ability is not... Sometimes I get angry. I have 3 darkness tokens
Okay.
already from just starting, just from fighting her.
Okay. I need you to roll me... Go ahead and give me Unleash the Dark.
Come on, really. 9.
9. Okay. So you get to wield the darkness with control and ease. Choose 2. Get past their defenses and inflict a condition. Get what you want from them. Avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Gain the upper hand for now. Expose a weakness or flaw, or confuse them for some time.
Now, Alec.
Mm-hmm.
How would I make her vulnerable to me?
Physically, or well, she's already
just
kind of
vulnerable to
she's
me.
emotionally compromised. I mean, you could easily, like, basically, as the two of you are kind of going back and forth, you could easily kind of lob off her sword arm.
I would love to.
Yeah. Yeah, what does it look like when you cut off her sword arm?
I think she drops the summon of the greatsword it fades. She grabs her arm and then just manifests it. It appears cleaving in half in the space where it once was.
Okay. All right, so you have chosen to basically expose her, basically like make her vulnerable to you. You get one more from that list. So it could be get past their defenses, inflict a condition, get what you want, avoid reprisals or harm. You kind of already did gain the upper hand, or confuse them for some time.
Can I choose avoid reprisals or harm, but not for myself?
Got it, because I'm going to have her roll for Unleash the Dark now.
Okay.
Okay. So
No, I did not like that face.
You
No.
see, as her arm gets cut off and the blood just kind of rushes out, you see she basically goes to basically swing her arm as you see the blood kind of all from behind her begin to trail, almost like she's sending these blood spikes, and she's sending it in a grand general direction. So I'm going to take your avoid reprisal as you're getting in the way of these spikes.
Yep.
Yeah, you get in the way, and you would all see Lily just get basically treated like a pincushion as all of these blood spikes just stab through Lily repeatedly. And before I get to what Lily's going to do in response, I'm going to cut to the rest of the group. What is the rest of the group doing?
Can I see her thread? The one you described earlier?
Yeah, you can see it.
Can I attempt to almost like kind of like lock open the shears and attempt to use it like a throwing star? An attempt to sever it from a distance, or do I have to get close?
You know you're going to have to get close. Fringe?
Oh, Judas.
Now you're thinking with portals. I would like to open a gap in front of Amaris that is on top of the herald, so that she can go in and just effectively land on top of her to try and sever this thread.
Okay.
So you see this portal kind of, this weird perspective as this portal opens in front of you, but it's above Veritas.
I think Amaris looks to where Chrona is and goes, I'm sorry. I love you. And then she's going to jump through the portal.
Okay.
To do
I need
this.
I need you to roll me Unleash the Dark. She's going to have an Unleash the Dark in response.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I rolled 6 plus 2, which I think is another 8.
Another 8.
I can't math. I'm stressed.
Okay. So this
Mom,
is
come pick me up.
this is
I'm
how
scared.
this happens. So you kind of dive forward, and then you're upside down, heading towards the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees you as you're coming down, but you're able to basically run your shears through the thread as she throws her arm up. And we see this blood spike go up into the portal. Heading straight for Fringe.
I thought it was impaling. Oh, I don't like this.
Well,
Can-
this is what happens.
Yeah, but so I can't do anything?
You've cut the thread. That was your thing.
Okay.
You've cut the thread as the blood spike goes through the portal and slams into Fringe's chest. Eva would see this, Chrona would see this, and do you make a noise when you get stabbed, Fringe?
There's just this very gentle whine. As if they haven't felt pain for almost a millennia. And they are finally experiencing it, and in some regard it's like, oh, I feel alive because I can feel pain. But they're just sort of like they stop floating, their feet touch the ground, and they're just kind of looking down at this impalement on them.
It's like this big.
Eva runs to Fringe. She runs so quickly.
Question:
Yeah.
Fringe already has a hole in their chest.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go through that?
Yeah.
A small white key goes flying out the back of them and scatters onto the floor.
Do we all see that? The ones
You
not
would,
close?
anyone who's close to Fringe would see this. So that would be Chrona and Eva.
Can
I
no, it's okay. You go. Sorry.
seeing Eva's like coming towards Fringe, Chrona's gonna trust in Eva to take care and run to grab that key.
Cool.
Okay.
Gonna do my little sprint.
Eva catches Fringe. She's going to look at Chrona as he gets that key, touches that key, and there is a small piece of her that doesn't trust that Chrona's gonna take care of it. You know what I mean? Like there's like a tiny bit of like a.
It's so valid.
She just looks at him with a key, and she wants Chrona to see that she's looking at him. Does he catch her eye?
Yeah. Do we have a moment to do anything else?
We will here in just a sec. So as you run to grab the key, Eva runs to Fringe. Amaris has fallen through the portal to snip the thread. And I think, Lily, you would see this motion out of the corner of your eye as you see Fringe fall backwards, this bloody hole in their chest falling into Eva's arms. What do you do?
Every single tattoo blooms at once. And she is going to walk very, very slowly over. She is going to grab Veritas by the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to kill her. I'm going to use None Stand Before Me. And she is going to kill her and destroy her soul forever.
You're doing number 2.
I'm doing number 2.
Mark 2 Ruin.
Okay.
What does this look like when you rend her from existence?
The spider lily tattoos crawl outward like veins and dig into her neck and crawl upward and upward and upward until they start pouring out of her mouth, out of her nose, and all at once they constrict and rend until she's nothing but mist.
Yeah, there's just this of red mist that just paints Amaris, and basically the surrounding area as she is gone. She is vanquished forever. And this kind of like eerie calm falls over the city as all you can hear is kind of the crumbling of buildings and the flickers of the fires around the city, the groaning of people, as the 6 of you, including Mortarian, are now kind of standing in this almost blasted center space. What do you all do?
Does Lily seem in control?
She says absolutely nothing, and she just turns around, ramrod straight, and walks to Fringe.
Amaris will follow a couple steps behind.
Eva, has Fringe in her, like, kind of cradling him, if that makes sense, as much as she can, because Fringe is a lot taller than she is. And she's kind of looking at this, like, blood thing that has, like, stabbed him. Is the blood thing banished?
It's now that she is dead, it's just kind of this pool of blood on the ground. Like, basically, she coagulated blood and stabbed him with it, basically.
Eva reaches down for something that could help. And she's like, something, anything, give me anything, please.
Fringe, what does Eva find? What would help you in this moment that has been lost?
I think Eva feels as she dips her hand down into the floor, she feels a hand grab onto hers, and she pulls one of his shepherds out from the floor. There is a secondary Fringe, like this kind of static version of him, because he's just a shard of many shards. And he's laying on the floor, this gold sort of liquid escaping from the wound. The secondary Fringe has just stood next to you.
Any help?
They will kind of reach out to each other and hold hands and kind of embrace. And Fringe starts to kind of begin to knit back together very, very slowly.
Chrona, the key.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should do that before it stitches, and Chrona's gonna give it to the Fringe.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to pull back some of the bandages that they wear around their chest, and it's just this black void. And they just gently slot it back in place, and it seems to sit in the middle of them as it knits closed. And they just are relatively unresponsive in their reactions. They're just sort of sat there letting it happen, breathing. It's kind of a raspy breath, but they're functional.
They're okay. They're okay. You're okay, Fringe. You're gonna be okay. Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Are you alright?
Fine.
Are you back?
I never left.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Good. Right. Well, that happened. Well, we did one herald. I guess we can get the others.
Mm-hmm.
Glass half full.
Where? Sorry, go ahead.
Halo or Toby?
Whilst I am laying on the floor and looking up at the sky, have I noticed that the suns aren't moving?
Yeah.
I think Fringe will very quietly relay that to Eva.
And another thing, Fringe. As you reunite with another version of yourself, I'm going to let you take it however you want it. But one of your, instead of just being like these ghosts, one of your lost memories will return just a bit. I'll let you decide whatever it is, whether you want to reveal it or not. But as you reunite with another shard of yourself, there's just a bit that has returned in the back of your head.
Do I remember her name?
Mm-hmm.
I think Fringe just kind of lets out a sigh. Do I remember if she got out?
That's let's go with that as what comes back.
They seem to almost immediately relax. As if there's just relief, a feeling that they've not had in many, many years. Their head kind of rests back against Eva.
In Eva's, just to see, in Eva's, how what she sees is him saying, the suns have stopped moving. And this horrible thing, and he just, relief, leans back. And she's like, I don't know how to read this. This is not the reaction I would think of the fucking world going down and the sun's not moving anymore. He apparently is relieved. So she's just gonna look and just, I don't know if you heard that, but the sun's not moving. Neither of the two of them are.
The herald that attacked me at the moor. It's him.
He's doing this.
He can just control the suns.
Controls time.
Okay.
Glass half full.
We can do this. We did this.
All right, we have you, Amaris, that you can sever things. can sever something in them, that,
yes,
that stops
that's
them.
a new discovery, but I don't know if severing the blue one does anything to make them easier to kill, or if it helps. But it's a running
something
theory, and I think it worked quite well. I don't know if it felt different, Lily, when you were spectacular, frankly. But I think if we did one, maybe we can do another. And I think maybe we need to find somewhere safe to rest, and then we deal with the next thing. Right?
Yes.
And she feels very uneasy, like this is a side of Amaris Chrona may have seen a while ago when things were good, but it's a very, I don't know, gentle, like there's less wall, like I don't know how to explain it. Like she carries this very bravado naturally, but it seems for the first time that maybe she actually believes in that, in the words that she's saying, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Eva looks at Mortaris, and she just like looks, she's like on her knees, just like holding Fringe. She just looks at him, and she just has kind of like this desperation in her eyes, and she just.
So you see, after he helped the two figures that were fighting Veritas, you see he's just kind of standing, facing away from you.
Mortaris?
He's still not responding. He's just facing the other way.
Eva gives Fringe to Lily, as she kind of like leans him, because she knows they have a special bond. And she goes over to him, and she's about to like touch his back when she realizes she doesn't know which version of him it is. And she takes out her handkerchief just around her hand and just touches his back. Mortaris?
I didn't think I would be back. This is this is strange.
Is there a difference in his voice?
It's different.
I was gonna say
it's different. It's not the savagery that like you heard when you first met, or the calmness of Mortarian when you first when like he came back.
Mortarian, I'm so sorry. I'm
good.
so bad at this. I need to write it down.
But there's this kind of like almost lackadaisicalness to his voice.
She pulls her hand back. Who am I speaking to?
And he kind of like he puts his hands in his pockets as he kind of like turns around to look at you. And then he like takes his hands out of his pockets. He goes, "Oh, that's new." I mean, you guys ingest part of me all the time, so you don't know who I am.
I'm afraid you have to be a bit more specific.
The drugs that you like to take.
Huh. Am I speaking to a dragon right now?
Oh, there's a couple of us kicking around in here thanks to your friend over there.
She kind of just like, if this was an anime, there is a lightning look towards Chrona. Like, ching! But she just looks at him and like, well, the two other versions of people, of gods that are inside of you, saw me as a friend, which I am.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're fine. I'm gonna resume my work. I'm gonna resume my work. Before that fucking Goliath stopped me.
What work?
Well, this place belongs to me, so I'd like to take it back.
Right. It's not.
I'm pretty sure that kid is still fucking kicking around here somewhere.
Probably, but there's not going to be a lot of things left when the world is ending. All right.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Are you going to help us stop that from happening?
That was really strange. And now it sounds like
Yeah. Does this happen every time you use your powers? Or does it just happen at a random time?
I don't know. I don't know what your friend did. But things are a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they used, but whatever they did, there was part of someone else.
A dragon, most likely.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
No destruction. Let us go somewhere safe. Will you help us?
Always.
Okay.
And he like grabs your hand and he goes, always.
Okay. This is really stressful. And I miss you so much. And she's gonna go back to the others, like, let's go cottage, I guess. Fringe, are you too weak to use your powers, my friend?
Fringe kind of will awkwardly sit themselves up, and is going to attempt to open a passageway.
It's almost
But-
easier for you.
They're tired, but they are going to pull open.
And you actually see all of you. You see those two figures that were fighting Veritas are like, are you guys? Do you know what the hell just happened back there?
Yes,
You know
that's
who
a
that
very
lady
long
was?
explanation. And just keep your city safe, get everyone safe. The world is ending, and take care of yourselves. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
All
You're
right.
doing so good.
You're doing so well. We're so proud of you. I'm so sorry for your wing. That looks like it really hurts. Tell Saraphina we sent you. Tell her we sent you.
If she's
Okay.
still alive.
God,
Okay.
she
Better,
has.
get better soon.
Okay. As the six of you pass through the portal, and you arrive back at the cottage, Lily, you collapse.
Yep.
As because she was covered in so much blood, you couldn't tell how much she was bleeding after she was Iron Maiden,
my
essentially.
God. I forgot. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
As Lily collapses to the floor.
Lily? Lily? What do we do? What do we do?
Okay.
Chrona,
What do we do?
One more time.
Chrona's gonna pick her up
Okay.
if they can. And they're just gonna bring Lily into the pillow fort.
Eva again reaches down and she's like, oh, please, something other than bandages.
Third time's a charm.
You find, as you pull your hand up, you find a bit of glowing green rock.
Do I need to crush this for her to snort? I don't know.
More drugs! God's on drugs!
God's on drugs. I kind of look at the others like, do you guys know what this is?
Would Chrona know?
Chrona would probably be the only one to know. Unless anyone else has studied world history as much as Chrona.
Wait, sorry, I realized I said I went inside. I can't
You went
see it.
inside. Yeah, you don't see it yet, I guess.
Oh, she's like, no, and she just runs. Chrona, what is this?
Can
Okay,
I know
well.
what it is?
It looks like the remnants of one of the three celestial dragons that had come to this world a long time ago.
I do know, but I don't think you're in a place for me or anyone to use that right now.
You say
It's-
that, but I reached down for something that would save Lily, and the universe and the weep or whatever is doing this gave me this. So this will save her. Use it. You're so brilliant, like you always say, so incredibly clever. So use that clever brain of yours and save her. Please.
I give Eva a look, and then I will take it. And
Okay.
do I know what to do with it?
So you would know that this particular, the green of the, like, so there was green, blue, and red. There were three celestial dragons that arrived.
Anna has no idea what it is, by the way.
The
because
blue,
Greta
the
thinks
blue
like-
celestial dragon was responsible for control. The red celestial dragon was responsible for rage and power, and the green was responsible for healing. Basically, like it had the powers of healing. Which is why
do I-
which is why the blue and the red wanted to kill it so bad, because it was the antithesis of them.
Do I need to do anything with it, or can I kind of just give it to her?
You've never worked with this material, so that you don't know. That'll leave to you to determine.
I'm gonna pull out some of my tools and just start trying to cut a piece off and like crushing it and seeing if it turns into anything, if it even breaks.
It's difficult to break, but you see it is reminiscent of the drug that you've been taking. Not exactly similar. It's a different color, almost different grain, but it's reminiscent.
So is it a powder instead of like a paste?
Yeah, it's a powder.
I'm gonna take some of the healing ointments that I'll usually carry, and I'm gonna mix it in and try and like rub it as a salve on her.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing so, I'm gonna talk just quietly enough to myself and her, just saying things like, "You're gonna be okay. I don't like you, but I respect you, and Fringe likes you, so I hope that this helps you." Just like talking as if they're having a regular conversation.
And you notice as you're applying this medicine, you see that Lily is covered in scars and tattoos underneath all of the clothes she normally would cover these with. As you heal her, what is the rest of the group doing outside of the pillow fort? See, Mortarian very much looks like he has a headache.
I was making tea for everyone.
You're making tea?
I was
Okay.
going to say, Amaris was going to ask if she could actually make tea so that somebody can make tea for you, or she would help. Like Amaris would be like, "I'm going to try to be useful. I can't do anything."
I was gonna give Amaris like a pestle and water and some dried.
She'll get to work.
I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna
Okay.
get some water.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Both of them like.
Okay. All right.
Fringe, what are you doing?
During like the hectic kind of chaos of pulling Lily into the fort, Fringe has just been in the doorway. Just slowly processing. And whilst the other two go off to hastily make tea, Fringe is gonna make its way into the pillow fort and sit next to Lily. Just like
He absolutely hears Chrona.
on his
Muttering to
knees.
themselves.
And they take. I think they're gonna take one of Lily's hands, like in both of theirs, and lean down. Green is a good color. That's why it's my favorite.
Okay. We're gonna cut to the kitchen. While the two of you are making tea together, both of you kind of maybe around the same time notice that the clock in the kitchen is just like, you see it's just kind of like stuttering. You see it's basically stuck at noon, and you see the second hand is trying to move, but it just looks stuck.
Eva
That's
just
not
like taps on it to see if it's the clock. Knows internally it isn't, but it's
But
like
trying.
trying.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
This is so bad. This is so incredibly bad. But you know what? We did what we could today. We've done well so far. We've done good. We've done good.
And we can do better tomorrow.
We can do even greater things tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll just get Lily back, and she'll be fine. And everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe on the road we'll even get your heart back. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, don't cry. Oh,
okay.
sweetheart. No, it's okay. Just really grind those dried flowers. Very good. Oh, don't break the
almost like almost like pulverizes them.
That's so good. We'll just put them in the bag and they'll taste the same. It won't make a difference. So good. I mean, they've never been powdered as much as that before. It's so strong, but terrifying. And she goes and puts like things in the bags, and just like, okay, let's just get this done with. And she starts, pouring the boiled water into cups, and she gives it to everyone. She's standing there with like cups, just like
as you like go to pick up the tray of cups. Mortarian kind of like puts his hands over yours. He's like, "Sit, please. Let me."
Okay.
As he like takes it and like hands you a cup of tea. And he goes and hands out the tea for you so that you can sit for a moment.
She kind of buffers. I was like, this is not my purpose.
Can Amaris do something that you've done for her a lot and get you like a shawl or a blanket?
Yeah.
It's really awkward though. Like it's really awkward.
I was gonna have you roll for reveal your heart, but never mind.
Like it's really awkward. Like it's I don't like. She doesn't say anything. She just like picks something up and then just like pauses behind you for too long and then like places it, but like accidentally like hits your head with her arm and is like, oh, that's sorry.
I don't know what to do. That's very sweet, Amaris. Thank you so much. Your husband's very wrong about you. You're very selfless.
They're right.
No.
No, they are, and I have been. I want to. I think I want to be better. I'd like to try to do better, but I don't know how to stop the it's easy to be distant and manipulative and run away from everything. I don't know how to heal, how to make it right.
You
But
didn't
I think
run away earlier. You could have, the second you saw the herald. You could have run away when you got hurt. You could have run away right now. You're still here. You gave me a shawl. I don't think Amaris 3 days ago would have done that.
You probably wouldn't, but
I think we can call that progress. Think you?
I suppose it's a start.
Can you repeat this sentence for me? I just did a good thing. You, do it.
Like it's a really awkward face.
You don't
Like her
have
whole body.
You don't have to believe it. You just have to say the sentence.
Wait, what was the sentence again?
I just did a good thing.
I just did a good thing.
And she takes a sip of her tea. Doesn't say anything else.
I'm gonna go change out of. I'm gonna go wash the blood off of.
If you need a dress, just open the wardrobe. It'll find something for you.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I'm gonna go. Yeah, all right.
Any dress you want or think of, you'll find it in the wardrobe.
Oh, don't say that.
I think maybe like a half an hour kind of goes by, but Lily, you begin to stir and come back to consciousness as your wounds have completely healed.
I immediately leave.
Okay. Yeah, Chrona walks out of the pillow fort, leaving Fringe and Lily in the pillow fort.
Fringe been holding their hand the whole time.
Give it a squeeze.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
That looked like it hurt.
It would have hurt a lot more if I didn't put myself in front of it, so.
You do not need to do that.
Yes, I do.
They seem to disagree, but they drop it. Kind of laying her hand in their lap. They lean down and they are going to mimic what Lily did just before the fight and kiss her on the forehead. And then whisper to her, her name was Nithira.
And as the camera pulls back from the two of them, we see it shift to Chrona. And Chrona, as you look, as you kind of march out of the pillow fort, you see Mortarians kind of leaning up against the wall. And then you see a second Mortarian leaning against the other wall. And he looks over to you, Chrona, and goes, "So what's the plan, boss?" And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us for episode 5 of Rapture. I have been Alec the Bard, your game master. I'm going to pass it off to my lovely, lovely cast to say goodbye. If they can bring themselves together. Toby, why don't I throw it to you again?
I am Toby. I'm Toby.exe on everything, and I play Fringe. And this was a very wholesome and also horribly damaging episode. Had a fucking stellar time. Brooke, if you wanna.
Oh, yeah, hi, my name's Brooke. I play Lily. Unexpectedly wholesome and vitriolic interactions this session. My brain's gone. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Kayla.
That's me. I'm Kayla, at a court of Kayla. I promise I'm a good person. Anyway, that's me, and I played Amaris, who's not a great person, but is trying, and I'm gonna pass it to Hulda.
Hi, I'm
Here's the
Hulda.
basketball.
Thank you so much. I'm Hulda, or you can find me as a Hobbit's Tale or sorry, Alec, Hobbit's Tale or a Hobbit's Tale, wherever you find me on social media. I'm not usually violent with basketballs, but Alec deserved it this episode. I am emotionally scarred for the rest of my life. We'll go over to Sid.
Hi, hello, I'm Sid. You can find me on social media that I remember at sensationally.me. I play Chrona, and it has been an emotional roller coaster, and I think I'm going to need a good week to be okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all next time. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.